Welcome to Yoga Stretch. My name is Katy. Today we're going to control our thoughts. So during the yoga, we often think about things that we should be doing after yoga, or perhaps worrying about something that happened before we got to yoga, or perhaps concerned about postures being uncomfortable, and so on. So today we're going to focus on controlling those thoughts so we can get a mind meditation during our yoga and feel the benefits afterwards when we're carrying out our normal daily activities. Okay, let's take a seat and start focusing on our breathing. So just placing the hands on the knees or in the lap and lifting the rib cage up gently, relax the shoulders down. You can drop your chin slightly and check the back of your neck is quite comfortable. So just move your head around if you need to make it comfortable. And then start to focus on your breathing. So as you think about your breath, your mind is engaged. Your thoughts are on your breathing. Notice how your body moves. Perhaps your chest is moving at the moment. Let's bring that breath down to the belly. Can we feel the belly go in and out with our breath going in and out? Now lower your hands down. Let's lift the arms up. Feel the sensation of the rib cage opening up as we reach the arms over the head, and breathe out, lower the arms down. Breathe in, reaching up. Engage the thoughts in your breath. Let's notice the changes in our body. Breathe in, reach up, and breathe out. Let's do that one more time. Are you enjoying the stretch? And lower your arms down. Just placing the hands on your knees, let's roll the shoulders. So we want to breathe in, lift the shoulders up, breathe out to lower them down. Just working at the pace of your breath. We're going to draw circles with our torso. So just focus on how this movement is working for you. Is it nice and easy around the hips? And let's go around the other way. Is it just as easy? Can we find any tight points? Now let's link our fingers, turn the hands inside out and reach up. Now I want you to make sure your shoulders are down and your rib cage is lifted and your waist drawn in. Now we're going to gaze up, reach up, breathe in and breathe out. Look forward, lower the shoulders down. Breathe in, gaze up and breathe out, lower the shoulders. One more time, breathe in, lift up and breathe out to lower. Lower your hands down onto your knees. Let's change the cross of our legs and take a twist. So your left hand on the right knee, right arm behind the back, turn it into a fist and lift the spine tall. Turn your gaze just in front of your shoulder. Let's focus on breathing around the chest. Let's twist around the other way. Focus on the breathing. Think about whether your spine is tall. Engage your thoughts in the position as you hold. Coming forward. Let's place the hands on the floor. And if you can, walk your hands forward. Now try not to lift your shoulders up and bend forward. Keep the shoulders down and draw the waist in. Just walk your hands forward and notice how you just ease into this forward bend a little bit at a time. If you can, lower your head down. Breathe into your back. And lifting up. Look your hands back to your feet and bring your feet to butterfly pose. Now let's extend the legs a little bit forward and let's try to think about our hips. So bring those thoughts to the hips, and this is where we want to stretch. So we're just going to lift our rib cage up and lean forward. Just rest your hands on the top of your feet. And you might just find that you just ease into this, just leaning forward a little more, pulling the tummy in. It might be comfortable for you to slide your hands under your calves and place your elbows on the floor and the tops of hands on the feet. Chin to chest and lower the head down. Breathe into your back, breathe into your belly. And bringing your hands back. Let's bring the legs around to the side, come up onto the hands and knees. We have cat-cow pose. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Breathe in, cat arch, draw your navel up, lift your rib cage a little higher and bring your chin to chest. Big breath in your back. And cow pose. Shoulders towards hips. Breathe in, cat arch, draw the navel up, stretch the back. Breathe in, cow pose, slide shoulders to hips. Let's do that one more time, big cat arch. And breathe out, cow pose. Lift your hips up into down dog. Walk your heels up and down and stretch the ankles. Think about your calf muscles. Are they feeling tight or are they quite comfortable? What's it like pressing the heel down? Beautiful. Let's lower both heels down. Now you don't need to reach your heels to the floor. Shoulder blades are flat, tummy's lifted. Okay, let's soften those knees. Now we're going to come into a dog twist. So if you find dog twist a little bit uncomfortable, then stay in a down dog. Reach one hand. Hold the outside edge of the knee, the calf or the ankle. Try and have the weight evenly between your feet. Looking under your arm. Breathing into the side of the body. Now try and keep that weight even through the feet. Don't move your weight onto your hand. Let's take one more breath. And then lower the hand down and change sides. So holding the outside of the knee, the calf or the ankle, and again putting the weight evenly through the feet. Rest any time you need to. Okay, place your hand down and walk your feet to your hands. Hold your elbows. Let the upper body hang down. Keep your knees bent. Let's move from side to side with the torso and elbows. Bring yourself to a standstill, move your head forward and backward in a yes movement. And then side to side in a no movement. Place your hands on your shins. Let's breathe in and breathe out, rolling back up again to a standing position. Roll the shoulders back and draw them downwards. Give yourselves a little shake. turn and face the front. So how did we go with those thoughts? Did we manage to control them? Okay, let's turn sideways. We're going to do 2 rounds of sun salute. So lift up your ribcage nice and tall in a mountain pose. Lift shoulders to ears, roll them back and draw them downwards. Draw the waist in, just a little bit of firmness in the buttocks and the thighs. Lift your toes up and spread them out, place them down. Make sure your ankles are not touching all the fronts of your feet. Stretch the fingers apart and reach your fingers towards the floor. Check the back of the neck, make sure it's quite comfortable, and just close your eyes and let's take 3 breaths here. Now notice your balance. Are you moving from side to side or are you quite stable? Just notice how your body feels. Let's take a deep breath in, sun salute, reach up. Now try to reach your arms up a little bit more and then breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, flat back, hands can be on shins, perhaps even the floor. Feel the stretch in the back and breathe out, forward fold, and then step your right foot back, place your knee down at the top of the foot. Sweep your arms back and lift up. Roll the shoulders back and draw them downwards. Stretch your fingers apart. Let's breathe into the belly. Now focus on lengthening the arms up, stretching into your hip. Now breathe in. Lower the left hand down or the right hand down and the palm rotates forward. So we're in a lunge twist now. Now you can gaze up at your thumb, look sideways or look down to the floor. Now the hand should be a hip width away from the foot. Take 3 breaths down to your belly and just bring your thoughts into how your breath is expanding the rib cage and going down to your hips. Okay, lower that hand down and bring your front foot back. So you want to tuck the toes under, front foot back into plank. Breathe in, breathe out, plank to floor, or just the knees and the chest go down. Breathe in, cobra, tuck the toes under, breathe out, down dog. Now just move from side to side as you breathe in and out. Now we're going to crouch, bend the knees, and then step the right foot, then the left foot forward, flat back, and forward fold. Breathe in, sun salute, lift up. And breathe out, hands back down to sides. Round 2. Deep breath in, sun salute, and swan dive, forward fold. Breathe in, flat back. And breathe out, forward fold. This time we're going to step back with our left foot, lower the knee down, flatten the top of the foot, sweep the arms back, lift them up, roll them back and draw them downwards. Stretch the fingers apart. If it's too uncomfortable to extend your arms up, place hands on hips or prayer at chest. Breathe down to the belly and feel your belly expand out with the breath in. And then lower that left hand down, rotate the palm sideways. And try to open the chest a little, so we've got a stretch in the chest. Picking that head position that suits you best. And let's take 3 breaths here. Then lower your hand down. And let's bring the front foot back into plank. Breathe in and breathe out, plank to floor. This time slide your elbows forward and draw the shoulders towards the hips. So draw them downwards and open your chest wide. We've got a Sphinx pose. Press your pubic bone in the floor, squeeze your buttocks together, lift your rib cage up, and let's draw the elbows back and bring the chest between the arms. So we don't want to move the arms. We're going to hold on with those fingers and breathe into the front of the body. You can lift your chin up and stretch the neck, or just adjust your head to be comfortable for you. Now focus on breathing into the front of the body. So bring your thoughts into how you're breathing in this position. Can you feel the breath in the front of your body stretching the muscles around your waist? And then lower yourself down. And we've got a cobra. Lift up, come into child's pose. So let's get those toes together, knees wide. Extend the arms forward, shoulders towards hips, and bring your forehead down. So make sure the shoulder blades are flat on the back, your tummy's lifted, and you're sitting on your heels. Breathe into your back, 3 breaths. Now start to notice, if you need to bring your elbows to the floor for a rest at any time, do. You can even rest your elbows on the floor. Just check around your neck and shoulders. Think about what's happening in your body. How is it feeling? Beautiful. Let's lift up into a cat and bring the knees hip width apart. Tuck the toes under, lift into down dog. And you can move from side to side, just 2 or 3 times. And then crouch, look between your thumbs and step your left foot and your right foot forward, flat back, and forward fold. Breathe in, sun salute, lift up. And breathe out, hands down to chest, deep breath in and out. And we've got some standing strength. So take the hands behind the back. Let's breathe in, lifting up the rib cage, and breathe out, bending forward, rounding out the back, and lift the arms up, link the fingers, reach the arms up to the ceiling, or just have them in wide prayer, picking something that's comfortable for your shoulders. So just check with your thoughts. Just check in and just check your body. Are you balanced? Is the weight even through your feet? Arms are lifted. Okay, let's sweep them forward into a chair pose. And then forward fold and flat back. Breathe out, forward fold, and step the right foot back. We've got a high lunge. So let's sweep the arms back, lift them up, roll the shoulders back and draw them down. So this is like the low lunge position, except it's up with the knee up. So we're now balancing a little bit more. So this is the best way to do this, is just give your buttocks a little squeeze, the one with the leg back, and focus on having your feet hip width apart. Just think about your legs are hip width apart. Bring your breath down to your belly, explore your lungs with your breath. Now breathe in, breathe out, elbow to knee and the hand on the hip nice and comfortably. Turn your hand into a fist. Draw the shoulders down and the waist draws in. Stay here if it's comfortable for you, or come into a more challenging position, reaching one arm to the floor and one arm to the ceiling. So pushing that arm into the knee, let's take 3 breaths. Just focusing on stretching into that outer edge of the hip, reaching the arms up, adjusting your position if it's uncomfortable. That's it, beautiful. And we're going to lift up. Now when we lift up, we're going to windmill our arms out and come to a warrior 2 facing the other way. This is a lovely challenge for the mind. So the shoulders are down, squeeze the buttocks, bring the knees a little wider, look over your front middle finger. And let's take 3 breaths here. Explore your lungs with your breath. Keep your mind engaged with your body as you feel each muscle working. Bring your back arm forward. Lift the arms up into warrior one. Breathing in and breathe out. Hands to floor, front foot back into down dog. Just moving from side to side, loosening up around the shoulders and the hips. Let's crouch, look between the thumbs. This time you can bring one foot forward, then the other, or take a jump, and remember to land with bent knees. Coming to flat back. And take a deep breath in, sun salute. Breathe out, hands to sides. And let's do that again to the other side. Deep breath in, sun salute. And swan dive, forward fold. Breathe in, flat back. And breathe out, forward fold. This time we're going to step our left foot back. Make sure your feet are hip width apart and that you're very steady. Sweep the arms back, lift them up, roll the shoulders back and draw them down. Now remember not to let that front knee drop in, but push it sideways. That's it, lovely. Have the rib cage lifted, arms extended. Take 3 breaths down to the belly. Now breathing in, breathe out, elbow to knee, hand on hip. Shoulders head towards hips, tummy is firm, look sideways. And again, checking in with your body. Have you pushed through the back heel? Is the back leg nice and stretched? And have you got the knees soft? If you can, let's widen the arms. So one hand to the floor and one arm to the ceiling. Let's take 3 breaths. Now, bring your arms up. We're going to windmill those arms over into a warrior two. Facing the opposite way. How did your arms and your body go? Squeezing the buttocks, nice tight tummy. Knees out wide. That's it, lovely. Let's look over the front middle finger. Take 3 breaths here. Now, anytime your front knee gets tired or your leg gets tired, straighten it and bend it. If your arms get tired, lower them down, lift them up until you build the strength around your back. Okay, warrior one. Bring your arm forward, adjust your hips, make sure they're nice and straight, looking forward. Make sure the front knee is in line with the ankle. Shoulders are down, stretch the fingers. Breathe down to the belly. Are we controlling those thoughts? Are we focusing on the body and feeling every bit of the stretch that we're getting? Breathe in and breathe out. Hands to floor, front foot back, down dog. Let's breathe into plank and plank down to the floor. Breathe in cobra and tuck the toes under, breathe out, down dog. Now just making sure nice and loose in the shoulders and hips and then crouch. Look between your thumbs, walk or jump your feet forward, flat back. Breathe out, forward fold and breathe in, sun salute. Breathe out, hands down to chest, deep breath in and out. Now we've got some standing strength. So take the hands behind the back. Let's breathe in, lifting up the rib cage, and breathe out, bending forward, rounding out the back, and lift the arms up, link the fingers, reach the arms up to the ceiling, or just have them in wide prayer, picking something that's comfortable for your shoulders. So just check with your thoughts. Just check in and just check your body. Are you balanced? Is the weight even through your feet? Arms lifted. Okay, let's sweep them forward into a chair pose. And then forward fold and flat back. Breathe out, forward fold, and step the right foot back. We've got a high lunge. So let's sweep the arms back, lift them up, roll the shoulders back and draw them down. So this is like the low lunge position, except it's up with the knee up. So we're now balancing a little bit more. So this is the best way to do this is just give your buttocks a little squeeze, the one with the leg back, and focus on having your feet hip width apart. Just think about your legs are hip width apart. Bring your breath down to your belly. Explore your lungs with your breath. Now breathe in, breathe out, elbow to knee, and the hand on the hip nice and comfortably. Turn your hand into a fist. Draw the shoulders down and the waist draws in. Stay here if it's comfortable for you, or come into a more challenging position, reaching one arm to the floor and one arm to the ceiling. So pushing that arm into the knee. Let's take 3 breaths. Just focusing on stretching into that outer edge of the hip, reaching the arms up, adjusting your position if it's uncomfortable. That's it, beautiful. And we're going to lift up. Now, when we lift up, we're going to windmill our arms out and come to a warrior 2, facing the other way. This is a lovely challenge for the mind. So the shoulders are down, squeeze the buttocks, bring the knees a little wider, look over your front middle finger. And let's take 3 breaths here. Explore your lungs with your breath. Keep your mind engaged with your body as you feel each muscle working. Bring your back arm forward. Lift the arms up into warrior 1. Breathing in and breathe out. Hands to floor, front foot back into down dog. Just moving from side to side, loosening up around the shoulders and the hips. Let's crouch, look between the thumbs. This time you can bring one foot forward, then the other, or take a jump and remember to land with bent knees. Coming to flat back. And take a deep breath in, sun salute. Breathe out, hands to sides. And let's do that again to the other side. Deep breath in, sun salute. And swan dive, forward fold. Breathe in, flat back. And breathe out, forward fold. This time we're going to step our left foot back. Make sure your feet are hip width apart and that you're very steady. Sweep the arms back, lift them up, roll the shoulders back and draw them down. Now remember not to let that front knee drop in, but push it sideways. That's it, lovely. Have the rib cage lifted, arms extended. Take 3 breaths down to the belly. Now breathing in, breathe out, elbow to knee, hand on hip. Shoulders head towards hips, tummy is firm, look sideways. And again, checking in with your body. Have you pushed through the back heel? Is the back leg nice and stretched? And have you got the knees soft? If you can, let's widen the arms. So one hand to the floor and one arm to the ceiling. Let's take 3 breaths. Now, bring your arms up. We're going to windmill those arms over into a warrior 2. Facing the opposite way. How did your arms and your body go? Squeezing the buttocks, nice tight tummy. Knees out wide. That's it, lovely. Let's look over the front middle finger. Take 3 breaths here. Now, anytime your front knee gets tired or your leg gets tired, straighten it and bend it. If your arms get tired, lower them down, lift them up until you build the strength around your back. Okay, warrior one. Bring your arm forward, adjust your hips, make sure they're nice and straight, looking forward. Make sure the front knee is in line with the ankle. Shoulders are down, stretch the fingers. Breathe down to the belly. Are we controlling those thoughts? Are we focusing on the body and feeling every bit of the stretch that we're getting? Breathe in and breathe out. Hands to floor, front foot back, down dog. Let's breathe into plank and plank down to the floor. Breathe in cobra and tuck the toes under, breathe out down dog. Now just making sure we're nice and loose in the shoulders and hips, and then crouch. Look between your thumbs, walk or jump your feet forward, flat back. Breathe out, forward fold, and breathe in, sun salute. Breathe out, hands down to chest, deep breath in and out. Okay, we're going to do some standing strength and we're going to incorporate some balances. That's our half moon balance and our warrior three. So let's bring our hands to our sides and take a deep breath in, sun salute, and swan dive, forward fold. Breathe in, flat back, and breathe out, forward fold. Step the right foot back and come into warrior one. So sweep the arms back, lift them up, roll the shoulders back and down. Now we're only going to pause a short time here because we held this position last time. So let's breathe in, breathe out, come into warrior two. Shoulders are down, give the buttocks a little squeeze, pushing the hips forward. Make sure you're working the inner thighs. Now come into proud warrior, rotate your palm, lift it up and lower your back hand down to your thigh. Line your arm up with your nose, so you're looking directly at your arm or your palm. This will help you keep your head nice and straight and lined up with your spine. So breathe down to your belly and just think about how that back leg is going. Are you pressing the heel down? And is the foot firmly on the floor? Can you feel the weight evenly through your feet? And is your back knee a little bit soft? Take 3 breaths into your belly. Now bring your arms into a T position and straighten your front leg. We have a triangle, so let's breathe in, reach forward. Now make sure the hip goes back, not behind you, but not sideways, but towards your back hip, to the back of the room. Reach, feel the stretch on the inner thigh. Stretch and then triangle into position. Now again, picking that head position that's most comfortable. Check in with your neck. Make sure that you are in a comfortable position with your head. Shoulders draw towards hips, tighten the tummy. Now we should be feeling our inner thigh working if we're squeezing our buttocks a little bit together. Stretching in the top side of the hip. Let's take 3 breaths there. Still focusing on the top side of the hip, seeing if the ribs expand with your breath. Now reach up, lift up with the side of your body and come back to warrior two. We're going straight into a side angle pose. So breathe in, reach forward, elbow to knee. So you want to line your armpit up with your knee, elbow to knee, and close your palm in a fist. Then lift the other hand up. Shoulders head down, make sure the waist is in and you're resting very lightly on your knee. So you want to make sure that your core is switched on to hold you up. Take 3 breaths here. So stretching into the side again. Make sure the head is comfortable. Now from here we're going into the half moon. So take the top hand, place it on the hip and give it a little rest. Take the other hand down to the floor. You can bring your back foot a little bit closer and then lift that foot up. So if you only want to have your toes on the floor, leave them there. Lift your leg up to hip height. Now if you can, reach your arm up to the ceiling. Turn your head sideways. If your balance is good, come up onto fingertips and even lift your fingers off the floor if your balance is good today. Take 3 breaths here. Now lower your foot down and lower your hand down. Lift up into a warrior 1. Lift the arms up and then breathe out. Bring your hands to your chest. This is our warrior 3 balance. So bring the body weight forward so you can lift your back heel up quite easily. And if you can, lifting that foot up, squeezing the buttocks, tighten the tummy. Now you don't have to lift your leg as high as me, but if you can do. And let's take 3 breaths here. Now hinge that, bring that foot down, take your hands down to the floor, front foot back into a down dog. And then breathe into plank, breathe out plank to floor, breathe in cobra. And let's bring ourselves into a child's pose. So toes together, knees wide, extend the arms forward. Now you might like to bring your arms by your sides for this one, or even rest your hands on your lower back and let the shoulders drop to the knees. So let's just try and get our shoulders resting on the knees. Sit a little deeper if you can. If you can't sit quite so deep, just pick an arm position that works for you. 3 breaths into the back and let's see if we can expand the back with our breath. Extend the arms forward, lift up into the cat and down dog. And just a little movement to loosen up. And then crouch, look between the thumbs, walk your feet or jump your feet into flat back. And then bring your feet together, sweep the arms back, chair pose. And lift straight up and bring your hands down to your chest. Deep breath in and out. Let's do that again on the other side. Deep breath in, sun salute, and swan dive, forward fold. Breathe in, flat back, and breathe out, forward fold, stepping our left foot back. The heel goes down, sweep the arms back and lift up, roll the shoulders back and down, warrior 1. Breathe in and breathe out, open the chest, working a little quicker this time. Make sure the buttocks is firm, the inner thighs are stretching. Turn your gaze over your front middle finger. Let's take a breath in and breathe out. Proud warrior, rotate that palm, lift up and line the arm up with the nose. You can gaze at the palm if you wish. Breathe down to the belly. Make sure your shoulders are comfortable and down. Just check in with your legs. Are they working strongly, both sides of the leg? And one more breath. Straighten the arms out to a T position and straighten your front leg, ready for triangle. Now again, don't push the hips back behind you, just push them sideways towards the back foot. Reach, push your hip back and reach your arm forward. Triangle your arms in position, shoulders head towards hips, squeeze your buttocks together, tight tummy. Pick that head position that suits. Check in with the shoulders, engage your thinking. You need to engage your thoughts all the time. Think about what's happening with your body. Is your inner thigh, your front leg working? Have we got the buttocks squeezed together? Let's take 2 more breaths into the top side of the body and see if we can get those ribs to stretch apart with our breath. Now lift up with your hand, the top hand on the side of the body. Bend your front knee. palms down. So shoulders are down. Squeeze the buttocks, hips forwards. That's it, lovely. Turn your gaze over to look over your front middle finger. And we've got a side angle pose. So let's breathe in, reach forward. The armpit lines up with knee. Elbow and knee lightly. Close the hand into a fist. Lift the other arm up. Shoulders head towards hips. Squeeze your buttocks. Now can we find a position where we're resting lightly on the knee? So it does take a little practice to get the muscles lovely and strong and feel reasonably comfortable in these positions. The benefits for the body are wonderful. Feel the ribs expand with your breath, the top ribs particularly. Now let's take the hand nearest the floor down. Bring the back foot a little closer and the top hand on the hip for comfort. Lift the back foot up. You can keep toes on the floor or lift it up a little higher. Now reach your hand up to the ceiling. Turn your gaze sideways. Try to line your arms up. Come up on the fingertips if you can, or lift them up if your balance is good. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then lower the foot down, sweep the back arm forward, come to warrior 1. Roll the shoulders back and down. Okay, breathe in, breathe out, hands to chest. This is our warrior 3. Put the body weight forward, come onto the toes. And we're going to lift the back foot up and just hinge it up to whichever height we can manage. Nice firm buttocks, tummy lifts. Take 3 breaths. Lower the back foot down, take the hands down, come into down dog. Let's breathe into plank, breathe out down to the floor, breathe in cobra, and come into child's pose. Bring your arms down by your sides. Let the shoulders sink towards the floor. Really relax around the mid-back and the shoulders. Let them really drop down. Breathe between the shoulder blades. Let's bring our hands under our chest and lift up. Bring the hands forward, tuck the toes under, come into down dog. And let's take a walk with our feet to our hands. Bring the hands on the shins and roll ourselves back up again. Shoulders to ears, roll them back and draw them down. Okay, we're going to turn sideways now and do some forward bending with wide legs. So let's toe heel our feet a bit wider. This is wonderful for the hips. So just pick a width that you can manage with your hips. Just make sure you're not overstretching or understretching. So hips should not be, legs should not be too narrow or too wide. Lifting the rib cage up, lift the arms up, hug the shoulder blades together, tummy in. Now let's bend forward. Now if this is a little bit too strong with the arms wide, place them on your hips. Now think about what you're doing so you can make sure your arms are a little higher than the sides of the body and the back muscles will hold the arms up. Take 3 breaths here. So tuck your chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Keep the knees a little soft so you can keep the weight even through the feet. Now lower your hands down. We're going to walk our hands over to one foot. You can just leave your hands on the floor or hands on your shin. Or perhaps even you can hold that leg with your hands and rest your head on the arm that's extended and lift the other one up to the ceiling. Now check the weight in your feet. Is it even? Think about what is happening in the backs of your legs. Are you feeling that stretch? Is it too strong or is it not strong enough? Try not to lock those knees. Take 3 breaths and find out where the breath is going in your rib cage. Engage your thoughts as much as you can. Now lower your hand down, take a walk over to the other leg, place the hands on the floor or on your shin, whatever you can manage. You can take one arm across, hold the ankle, put the head on top and lift the other hand up. And again, just finding out where your body weight should go. That's it, feeling that stretch, reaching the hand up. Breathe into the back. Now lower your hand down. Now this time we're going to turn our fingers around, walk them underneath our legs. Now just as far as they can go. So your hands should be a shoulder width apart, they shouldn't be together. Chin tucked into chest, crown of head facing floor, or you can put your head on the floor. Have those knees just a tiny bit soft. Breathe into your back. Now let's check in with our thoughts to what is happening with the weight in our feet. Are we in our heels? Well, if we are, we need to rock forward. If you're worried about landing on your head, place your hands under your shoulders. Or put them in a position where you feel stable. Okay, let's walk our hands forward again. Now let's walk the hands around to the front foot and lower the knees down. Now we're going into a gate pose, so let's lift up and rotate that foot so it's pointing behind and extend the other leg forward or sideways. Now squeeze the buttocks, push the hips forward. Let's breathe in. Lift the arm over the head, nice big stretch through the side. Chin tucked in. This is our reverse gate pose. Can we feel that lovely big stretch around the rib cage? So I want you to think about what's happening in the ribs. Can you feel that extra stretch when you breathe into the top side of the ribs? Let's try that one more time. And then lift the arm up and over. And now we're going to stretch in our gate pose. So arm extends. Shoulders down away from ears. Chin tucked in. Let's take 3 breaths. Focusing on how that arm feels extended over the head. Now let's lift up and place the hands down, change the knees. So we're going to extend the other leg out to the side. Breathe in, lift your arm, breathe out, bend to the side. Chin tucked in and shoulders down. Now if it's too uncomfortable with the arm extended, just the hand behind the head, it's quite a nice position, especially for necks. If you have any shoulder issues, just might feel a little more comfortable getting the shoulders right away from the ears. 3 breaths into the side of the body that you're stretching. And then bring your hand down to the floor, reverse or into the gate pose. Shoulders away from ears. Let's stretch in the hips. And again, if you do want to have your hand behind your head, feel free to do that. Just pick the things that make it comfortable for you to do your yoga. There's always going to be a level of discomfort as we stretch our muscles. But I want you to think about that. Just think about the effects on your body. Okay, lifting up and bring your knee in. Let's face sideways and we're going to bring one knee, the right knee, forward into pigeon. Make sure your toes are forward and then slide your back leg away. Make sure your hips are even. Now let's come down to elbows. Now you want to make sure the shoulders don't lift up to your ears. You need to make sure they draw away. And that we focus on stretching in the hips. So have a little think about what's happening around the shoulders when you do this position. It might be more comfortable for you just to put your head down and so we can keep the shoulders right away from the ears. You might feel better if you can rest your head on your hands or extend your arms forward. And have the elbows lifted if you can, or just lower them down. So pick something that you find comfortable for your neck and your shoulders, and let's focus on the hips. Take 3 breaths right around the belly and the lower back, and see if you can get your hips to sink a little deeper into the stretch. We're going to lift up, take a seat, and swing the leg around. So lifting up nice and tall, lift yourself up with your hands, place your hips down. So this is an alert pose, so if you find this uncomfortable for your knee, extend your leg. Okay, so let's take one arm around the knee and the other behind the back. Turn it into a fist and lift up tall. Just look in front of your shoulder. Take 3 breaths into the rib cage and just see if you can wrap your arm around your back and perhaps even go into a full bind with your arms. Then release, and let's bring our legs around to the back, and we're going to do our pigeon with our left knee forward. So bring that leg forward, slide the other leg back, make sure the toes are forward, watching the knee, and then just taking a moment or two to make sure we're comfortable, and then come down to the position you chose last time. Breathing into the hips. Now finding the stretch in the hips, so send your thoughts into your hip and just check mentally how that hip is going. And check where your breathing is. Did you manage to get it down to your belly and the lower back? Let's lift up and take a seat, and then swing your leg around, coming back into that alert pose, or just have the bottom leg extended. Lift the hips up and sit down quite comfortably on the sit bones as much as you can. So let's try and get our hips evenly on the floor. Wrap the arm around the knee, other arm behind the back, and let's use that hand to lift the spine up tall and draw the waist in. Just look in front of your shoulder. Let's take 3 breaths here, and just think about whether you can bring your arm behind your back and perhaps go into a full bind. Breathing around your rib cage. And then release. Okay, we're going to bring those legs forward. Take the hands behind the knees and pull the tummy in. Walk the hands down the back of the legs. And we're going to bring our knees to our chest. Just one at a time. Draw the navel down and try and get the lower back to lengthen and flatten on the floor. And let's just rock from side to side. Now you can do a vigorous rock, or you can just rock a little slower, massaging that lower back out, making it quite comfortable. You can stay here or bring your feet as wide as your mat and drop your knees inwards, placing your hands in a comfortable position. Or you can come to a butterfly pose and stretch the inner thighs gently, pressing the elbows down, hug the shoulder blades together, lay the back down with shoulder blades flat and chest open. Left hand on heart centre, right hand on belly. Lift your head up, tuck the chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Let's breathe into the belly. When you're ready, just extend your legs and let your feet and your thighs drop outwards. Bring your arms to your sides Making sure the chest stays open, palms up, relax the fingers. Get those thighs to roll out so the inner thighs are quite relaxed. Let's take a few breaths into the belly. So if you want to stay in this relaxation position, pause this video and you can stay here for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever time you have available to relax. If you'd like to finish off with me, let's start to move our fingers and toes and breathe down to the belly. And walk your feet to the end position and roll to your side. Let's rest the head on the arm. Take 2 or 3 breaths. And lift up to a seated position. Resting hands on knees or in the lap. Drop your chin slightly and just check the back of the neck is quite comfortable. And then lower the hands down, lift them above your head in prayer. And then bring them down to your chest, thumbs to heart center. And breathe down to your belly, then into your rib cage, up into shoulders and back, and breathe out. Breathe in the belly, the rib cage, shoulders and back, and breathe out. Let's take one more deep breath in at your own pace. And have a peaceful heart and a peaceful mind and a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you feel a little more peaceful now, spending the time thinking about what you're doing and controlling your thoughts. So your mind should be nice and calm now, and your body quite stretched and feeling a little looser. So if you enjoyed this video, please press like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you join me again.